Hi, I'm Delegate Patrick Hope, coming to you from my office in Richmond, and welcome to my weekly update of the legislative session. This was another busy week where, unfortunately, we saw the defeat of very important bills to our legislative agenda. I'm very disappointed to report that the bill that I spoke about here last week to expand health care coverage and access to 400,000 Virginians was defeated in the House Health, Welfare, and Institutions Subcommittee. Several individuals and organizations came out in strong support of my legislation. There was no opposition, with the exception of the House Republicans on the subcommittee. We'll keep trying again until we pass Medicaid expansion. Too many lives are at stake. Healthcare ought not be a partisan issue. A couple of bills that I've been working on, very hard on, in fact, are also defeated this week. A bill to prohibit conversion therapy to minors was defeated. Now, conversion therapy is based on the misguided belief that people can change their sexual preferences. It's based on the belief that being homosexual is a sin or a mental illness. Children are especially vulnerable to this dangerous kind of therapy. The American Medical Association, the American Psychiatric Association, all oppose this practice because of the psychological harm it causes. Unfortunately, House Republicans are choosing discrimination over the studies by the medical community. A second bill I introduced would ban payday and car title lenders within 10 miles of a casino or military installation was also defeated. These scrupulous lenders prey on vulnerable seniors, students, poor and low income, and military personnel. All these individuals live on fixed incomes and turn to these lenders, but don't realize that there's a 200 to 300% interest rate that just digs them deeper into financial ruin. Virginia needs to become a state that better protects consumers, and I'll continue my fight to regulate this industry. In the area of gun safety and protection, Republicans on the House Militia, Police, and Public Safety Subcommittee defeated several common sense bills limiting the purchase of guns to one handgun a month, mandated background checks at gun shows, and defeated a proposal designed to protect victims of domestic abuse from gun violence by keeping guns out of the hands of their violent offenders. They also defeated my bill to revoke concealed handgun permits from people who fail to pay child support. Now, on the Senate side, unfortunately, most of the gun safety bills were also defeated, with the exception of one that would prohibit gun possession for anyone convicted in the state of stalking, assault and battery, or sexual battery of a family member or household member. While this is very similar to the one that defeated in the House, it does contain a provision to allow those convicted of these offenses to later petition Virginia courts for restoration of their gun possession rights a year later. Also on the Senate side, some good government reform bills were passed, providing for a two-term governor and bipartisan redistricting. I strongly support both these measures, but the House Republican majority has traditionally opposed these provisions in the past. So we'll see what happens when it comes over here to the House. Well, next week we'll talk more about some dangerous bills in the committee that will impact a woman's reproductive rights and to make her own medical decisions. I have a bill that I'm working on, and very hard in fact, that would prohibit an employer from taking an adverse action against a female employee for her family planning services. We'll also know a little bit more about the budget and whether Virginia can finally close those tax loopholes and preferences in our budget, or whether we'll cave into those special interests. Listen, if you need to contact my office or you want to see the progress or some of the bills that I'm working on this session, please go to my website at hopefordelegate.org. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you right here next week.